What's going on, movie lovers, and welcome back to Top 10 Beyond the Screen. My name is Johnny Rogers, and if you happen to be new here, we cover everything from television and movies to celebrities and influencers, so if you're down with that, then just tap that subscribe button to join our notification squad. And make sure you stay all the way until the end because you won't believe our #1 spot. Also, before we get started for this video, we are using the words recently released pretty loose. This will be a mix of recent and others that were jailed and then released not too long after. With that out of the way though, let's get right into today's list of the top 10 celebrities recently released from prison. In at number 10, A$AP Rocky.
You know, go this way. You know?
I feel you. Listen. We don't want to fight y'all. We're not trying to go to jail.
My headphone, he's
look,
fucking
you
my headphone.
hit him with it.
I want my headphone.
I understand that you hit him.
While walking in the streets of Stockholm, the rapper and his team fell into this bizarre interaction with some locals. Two young men had been following them around, and after repeatedly telling them to stop following them, things began to escalate. At one point, Rocky even turns to the camera to say that he doesn't want any problems and that these guys just keep following them. For whatever reason, all of the patience in the world didn't stop them from continuing to escalate the situation. It eventually led to a brawl in the streets that caught Rocky specifically grabbing the man and throwing him to the ground before dropping a couple punches for good measure. A few days later, he was arrested for aggravated assault. Following the news outlets covering this fiasco, multiple big-name artists announced that they would be boycotting the country. This also led to President Trump getting involved, who called in a favor to have Rocky released from jail. Good to know people in the higher ups, I guess. In at number 9, Felicity Huffman. This was one of those celebrity schemes that truly shocked everyone that was once a fan of hers. Along with fellow wealthy TV star Lori Loughlin, Felicity and several other parents were accused of one of the biggest college admissions cheating scandals, well, in US history. Dozens of parents had apparently coughed up thousands of dollars to ensure that their kids would get into good schools. You know, instead of earning it like everyone else. Felicity, who is known for her role as Lynette Scavo on Desperate Housewives, admitted to dropping $15 grand to rig her daughter's SAT scores, for which she only received 11 days in jail. Lori, on the other hand, is feeling the full force of the judicial system. Loughlin and her husband were accused of bribing colleges with $500,000 to admit their daughters into the college, even going as far as taking fake rowing photos to say that they got in on a scholarship. In at number 8, Reese Witherspoon.
Any question I want to ask.
Go ahead. Come on.
You better not arrest me.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you kidding me?
No, I told you.
I'm an American citizen.
I told you to get in that car.
Although it may be difficult to tell from that dash cam footage acquired by TMZ, but that is without a doubt Reese Witherspoon being arrested. As far as celebrity mugshots go, this one is certainly bizarre to see. Back in 2013, Reese and her husband Jim Toft happened to be driving in the wrong lane while in Atlanta. The worst part about that arrest video is later on when Reese starts pulling the celebrity classic line of, "Do you know who I am?" While the officer was speaking with her husband, Reese decided to get out of the car to confront the cop, and when he said, "Ma'am, get back in the car," she refused. Her husband was charged with driving under the influence, while Reese, who stated that she was a US citizen and that she was allowed to stand on American ground, was arrested for disorderly conduct. The couple were released from jail on bond at 3:30 a.m. the following day with a court appearance pending. I can't believe she said, "Do you know who I am?" Like, who has the gall to say that? Reese Witherspoon, that's who. In at number 7, Conor McGregor. Upon arriving at his hotel in Miami, Conor spotted a crowd of fans and paparazzi by the doors, so as he approached, he did his classic billionaire strut. Although one man apparently got a little too close to the fighter and he did not hold back on letting him know. Conor swatted the phone out of his hand and then just proceeded to stomp on it just to make sure it could never be saved. It looks like he had a grudge with the phone itself. I mean, he really stomped it and then just kicked it aside. He was then taken into custody for robbery and criminal mischief over $1,000. Yeah. Phones ain't cheap anymore, Conor. Although he didn't spend long in jail because his attorney was able to convince them that it was only a minor altercation, and then moments later he was just released on bail. Hey Siri, play Money Talks by AC/DC. In at number 6, Paris Hilton. The heir to the Hilton hotel chain has been arrested on more than one occasion, but one of the most ridiculous ones is related to this headshot. After her first arrest for a DUI, she was pulled over and arrested again for driving with a suspended license and violating her probation. Initially, she had been sentenced to 45 days in jail, which seemed about right for what she had done. Although again, because money talks in the judicial system, she only spent a week behind bars and was allowed to resume her sentence at home. Sounds about white. In at number 5, Matthew McConaughey. I gotta say, this one has to be one of the funniest celebrity prison stories I've ever read. In 1999, after a full weekend of partying that went well into Monday morning, Matthew's neighbors decided to call in a noise complaint. When the officers arrived though, they found Matthew McConaughey standing in his living room naked while playing the bongo drums.
And then he flashed flashlight back on me, and next thing I knew, I'm against the wall and I've got cuffs on.
Oh,
So
bonded.
Said you resisted arrest.
I very much resisted.
You did resist.
Oh yeah.
When the police knocked on his door, Matt couldn't hear it, so he just didn't answer. This led the cops to go around to the side of the home and shine their flashlights inside. Although before seeing the dazed and confused star, they first saw a bong sitting on a table. Due to marijuana being extremely illegal in Texas, they barged right into his home and arrested him for possession. Apparently the police offered him clothes, but he refused because he wanted them to bring him in the way they found him. That way he could use the defense of, "What's wrong with beating on your drums in your birthday suit?" Which is something he actually said about the incident during a 2016 interview. What a character. I mean, like, his charges were eventually dropped, meaning he just spent the night in jail, but he did so naked. That's pretty crazy. In at number 4, DaBaby. After performing at a club in Miami, Florida, Miami's got a lot of trouble going on, the promoter was set to meet with the rapper to pay him. Apparently they had agreed on a rate of $30,000, but when the promoter showed up with 10 grand missing, things went sideways real quick. They took that man outside, knocked him onto the ground, pantsed him even, stole everything, dumped apple juice on him, and then drove away in a black SUV like nothing happened. But then before they even got away, you see another person get out of the SUV and punch him again, knocking him unconscious. Like, you'd think that the rapper DaBaby would be locked up for a long time, but oh, you'd be wrong. Shortly thereafter, the SUV was tracked back to DaBaby's hotel room, where he was then arrested and charged with misdemeanor battery. On top of that, he already had a warrant out for his arrest in Dallas for organized criminal activity.
Waive extradition, that means you're agreeing to be sent to the state of Texas. That will be after you resolve the local case here, which your lawyer is working hard to do.
Although after being held without bond and having Dallas police drop the warrant, he was released from jail just a few days later. Honey talks. Are you listening to it yet? In at number 3, Justin Bieber.
Mr. Bieber, you are charged with the following: DUI, alcohol or drugs, resisting without violence, and driving with an expired driver's license.
Justin Bieber was charged with a DUI, driving with an expired license, and resisting arrest without violence. While in Miami, third time in Miami, I guess, Justin and a friend rented 2 supercars. I believe Bieber had a yellow Lamborghini while his friend drag raced him in a Ferrari. The problem was that the Biebs had a little too much to drink, and his license, as I mentioned, was expired, which should also put some blame on the rental agency that gave him the car in the first place. I mean, you have to be 25 to rent a car, and he was 19. After the police pulled him over, he admitted to have been drinking, smoking marijuana, and even taking prescription medicine. Although Justin would only spend 10 hours in a cold jail cell, Florida State decided they would drop the DUI charges if Bieber would plead guilty to careless driving and resisting arrest, which is a much lower charge than a DUI on your record forever. He had to pay a $500 fine, take a 12-hour anger management course, and for good karma, I guess, he donated 50 grand to a local children's charity. And that's gotta help us press. In at number 2, Sam Hunt. Imagine being arrested and still being able to tweet the following day. Country singer Sam Hunt was arrested for driving under the influence and having 2 open containers of alcohol in the car. Not only that, but he was also traveling the wrong way on a Nashville road. The police immediately pulled the car over and identified the driver as country singer Sam Hunt. According to the record, he had bloodshot eyes and reeked of alcohol. Sam then tweeted out the following day, "Wednesday night I decided to drive myself home after drinking at a friend's show in downtown Nashville. It was a poor and selfish decision, and I apologize to everyone who was unknowingly put at risk and let down by it. It won't happen again." Sam had been arrested at around 6:30 a.m., which is ridiculous, and then he was released by 9 a.m. the same day, and he only had to pay $2,500. Boggles my mind. Let's go on to the next one. Last but not least, in our number 1 spot, Tekashi 6ix9ine. His real name is Daniel Hernandez, but under his rap name, he had shot to fame with the release of his debut mixtape, Day 69. However, just as he was beginning to build a career in the entertainment industry, he was arrested for violating the federal RICO Act. These were laws pertaining to racketeer, influenced, and corrupt organizations. He faced a minimum of 32 years, which was a lot better than the original 47-year sentence that he was given. After deciding to snitch on the other crimes committed by the 9 Trey Bloods, allegedly along with Mr. Hernandez, they committed a number of illegal activities including murder, robbery, and narcotics trafficking for the benefit of protecting the power, territory, and profits of the gang and its organization. It's like some GTA stuff. Tekashi was directly connected with 2 incidents of armed robbery and the shooting of a bystander in Brooklyn. The original indictment had 17 charges dating back to 2013, but he was only charged for 6, 2 of which had life sentences. Although because of a history of respiratory illness and the breakout of the virus in many prisons around the United States, Tekashi was released. The judge even seemed remorseful for his decision. He said in a statement to the press, "Had the court known that sentencing Mr. Hernandez to serve the final 4 months of his term in a federal prison would have exposed him to a heightened health risk, the court would have directed that these 4 months be served instead in home confinement." Regardless, he is now spending the remainder of his sentence at home while being electronically monitored. Doesn't seem right. And that has been the top 10 celebrities recently released from prison. Thank you for watching, and thank you to our editors for making me look so good. I'm sure there's a lot of bloopers in there. And if you enjoyed this video, then show some love here by tapping that like and subscribe button. Plus, don't forget to leave us a comment down below with your thoughts on this list. And for more videos like this one, all you gotta do is tap that playlist when it pops up on the screen. From Top 10 Beyond the Screen, my name is Johnny Rogers, saying until next time, stay safe out there. Alright, here we go. Auckland. But that is without a doubt Reese Witherspoon. Reese Witherspoon. I like Reese Witherspoon. That's my Mike Tyson impression. The worst part about that arrest video is later on when Reese starts pulling the celebrity blah 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 blah. Here we go. The couple were released from upon arriving at the Fontainebleau. He was then taken into custody for robbery and criminal mischief. Although again, because money talks in the judicial system. Here we go. To pay him for the agreed upon. Why do I even write a script? Don't go by it. Justin Bieber was It was a poor and selfish decision. It was a poor and selfish decision. It was a poor and selfish. Allegedly, along with Mr. Hurt. And just read the words on the screen.